I never planned to fall for my roommate. It was supposed to be simple. Split rent, mind our own business, maybe grab a beer now and then. But somewhere between the casual jokes and late-night conversations, something shifted. And now, every second in that apartment feels like waiting for lightning to strike. It started with a glance. Just a glance. He looked at me differently one night, like he saw something I didn't even know I was showing. I brushed it off, laughed, grabbed another slice of pizza. But the moment stuck. That look stayed with me long after the lights went out. Noah, that's his name. We'd lived together for 6 months. He was easy to be around, the kind of guy who could defuse any awkward silence with a dumb joke or a story about high school football. And I was just existing, studying, working, coasting, until that glance flipped a switch I didn't know I had. For weeks I tried to ignore it, but everything felt off, like gravity had shifted just a little in that apartment. The couch felt smaller, the silences heavier. Every time our shoulders brushed, my chest would tighten like it had something to confess. And maybe it did. The night it boiled over was one of those late summer nights where the air refuses to cool. The fan was useless. Sleep, impossible. I lay there staring at the ceiling, every thought tangled up with Noah. I hated it. Not because I didn't want it. Because I did. And that terrified me. Then I heard him shift in bed. I froze. His footsteps moved across the room. My heart beat so loud I was sure he could hear it. "You awake?" he asked. I didn't answer. He stepped closer. "Alec? Damn it." I rolled over. "Yeah." He stood at the foot of my bed, arms crossed like he was holding something in. "You've been weird lately," he said. "Is something going on?" I wanted to say no. I wanted to laugh it off, blame work, sleep, school, anything. But the words just wouldn't come. "You're not the only one feeling it," he added. My stomach dropped. "You think I haven't noticed?" he said, quieter now. "The way you look at me? The way you stop talking whenever I get too close?" I sat up. He wasn't angry. He wasn't mocking me. He was searching. Nervous, maybe, but determined. "I don't know what this is," I finally said. "I've never felt like this about a guy, about anyone." Silence. "I get it," he said. "Believe me, I didn't expect it either." He sat down beside me, close enough for our knees to touch. And I swear, just that contact lit something up in me. It wasn't lust, it wasn't fantasy, it was panic and clarity, and something raw all tangled together. "I keep telling myself to stop," he said, "to ignore it, that it's just some phase or boredom or whatever. But then I catch you looking at me like that and it's over." "What if we ruin everything?" I whispered. Noah looked at me. Really looked. "Then we ruin it," he said. "But we don't lie to ourselves while we do." I should have stopped him, but I didn't. He leaned in, slow, giving me every second to pull away. I didn't move. When his lips met mine, it wasn't fireworks or music swelling in the background. It was quiet. Still. Like time paused to let me decide. I kissed him back, and everything changed. The kiss didn't fix anything, it broke the silence, but shattered the balance. The next morning I woke up before Noah. My chest was tight, like I'd stepped into someone else's life. The night before replayed in fragments, his hand on my neck, the way we breathed in sync, the way I didn't want it to end. But now, daylight made everything too real. I didn't run, but I left the room. I stood in the kitchen trying to breathe, every sound amplified. A door creaked. Footsteps. Then he was there, silent, tired-eyed, holding a mug like a shield. Neither of us spoke. Not until he said, "You good?" I nodded too quickly. "Yeah." "You sure?" Yeah, just a lot. He gave a slow nod. Same. And that was it. No plans, no labels. Just a fragile truth sitting between us. For the next few days, we pretended to live in a world that hadn't changed. We joked. We watched Netflix. We took turns doing dishes. But under all that, tension simmered. I'd catch him looking at me, and my stomach would knot. When our hands accidentally brushed, I'd flinch, then hate myself for it. I thought I could handle it. But then came Friday night. We were at a party. One of Noah's friends from work, loud music, cheap beer, people pressed into every corner. I didn't want to go, but Noah had insisted. "It'll help," he'd said. At first it worked. I laughed, played beer pong, talked to a girl who flirted way too hard. But then I saw him, Noah, standing close to some guy, talking, leaning in, smiling. I couldn't hear what they said, but I didn't need to. Jealousy is ugly. I felt it in my throat. He saw me watching. Our eyes locked. He didn't look away. Later, when I found him outside, he didn't apologize. "You disappeared," he said. "So did you." We stood in the alley behind the house, street lights buzzing above. "You mad I talked to someone?" he asked. "I don't know what we are." "Neither do I," he snapped. "But don't act like you don't care." I never said I didn't. "Then say you do." I couldn't. My voice failed. Too many people, too much fear. He waited. But I stayed silent. He shook his head, stepped back. That's what I thought. The next day, he didn't come home. I sat in our apartment, watching the clock. Every hour he didn't return felt like another door closing. When he finally walked in past midnight, he looked exhausted, like he'd aged years in a day. "I stayed at Marcus's," he said flatly. "Okay." He hesitated. "You're not going to ask?" "No." More silence. "I kissed him," he said. "Just once. It didn't mean anything." The floor dropped out from under me. I laughed. Not because it was funny, because I didn't know what else to do. "You wanted honesty," he said. "That's all I've got." I nodded. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. He moved toward his room. "Say something." "You already did." He didn't speak again. The door closed, and I was alone. Over the next week, we became strangers. We barely spoke, shared space without sharing words. I avoided eye contact, skipped meals, stayed out late. He didn't ask where I went. We were roommates again, but colder, emptier. One night, I stayed on campus late and missed the last bus. Rain started halfway home. I walked soaked through the streets, head buzzing, heart aching. When I finally unlocked the door, Noah was on the couch. "Where have you been?" he asked, voice low. "Does it matter?" He stood. "Of course it does." "You kissed someone else. And you never even said you wanted me." "I didn't know I was allowed to," I snapped. We stared at each other, breathing like we'd just run miles. "This isn't just about us," I said. "You don't get it. I can't even talk to my dad without lying. My friends would destroy me if they knew. And I've spent my whole life pretending I wasn't this, whatever this is." Noah stepped closer. "I've lost friends over this. I've had people call me disgusting. My uncle doesn't speak to me anymore. You think you're the only one scared?" I swallowed. "Then why'd you kiss him?" "Because I was tired of waiting for you to admit we were real." That hit harder than it should have. "I'm not brave like you," I said quietly. He paused, voice softening. Neither was I at first. I sat on the floor. For the first time, I felt every piece of me crack open. Everything I'd bottled, buried, ignored. It spilled out. Noah sat beside me. He didn't touch me. He didn't need to. "I'm sorry," I said. Me too. He leaned his head back against the wall. We're a mess. Yeah, but I'd rather be a mess with you than pretend alone. I looked at him. He meant it. I don't know what comes next, I admitted. Then let's figure it out, he said. One step at a time. I nodded. For once, that felt like enough. We thought we could keep it quiet, but secrets don't stay secrets in small circles, especially not when people are watching. It started with a photo. Someone at that party, maybe drunk, maybe cruel, snapped a picture of me and Noah in the alley. We weren't kissing, just standing close. But close enough. Close enough to stir questions. Close enough to make people talk. By Monday, it was everywhere. Group chats, class DMs, subtle glances in lecture halls. No one said it to my face, but I could feel it. That burn in my spine when I walked into a room. That fake smile people give when they know something they shouldn't. Noah pretended it didn't bother him. Let them talk, he said. But I knew better. He flinched when people whispered behind us. He stopped going to the gym, stopped going out altogether. As for me, I shut down. Deleted apps, ignored texts, pretended I had a cold so I wouldn't have to face people. But the silence was worse than the noise. I kept waiting for the explosion. And then it came. From home. It was a Tuesday evening. My phone lit up. Dad. I hesitated. I could let it ring, let it go. But something in me answered. Alec, he said, voice tight. What am I seeing? I didn't ask what he meant. I already knew. There was a pause. The kind that squeezes your chest. Is it true? I swallowed hard. Yes. Nothing. Just breathing. And this? Noah. Is he the reason? No, not the reason. Just the person. My dad let out a sound, half laugh, half scoff. I didn't raise you to be like this. I clenched my jaw. You didn't raise me to lie either. I think you should come home. I am home. Click. No goodbye? No I love you. Just a call ending, like a door slammed in my face. Noah was quiet when I told him. You okay? He asked. I didn't answer right away. My chest felt hollow. I don't know. He nodded slowly. You want to be alone? I thought about it, then shook my head. No. So we sat in the dark for a long time. Not touching. Not talking. Just existing. Together. That weekend, the knock came. It was Marcus, Noah's friend, the one he kissed. I hadn't seen him since everything went down. He looked nervous. I need to talk to Noah, he said. He's not here. Marcus shifted awkwardly. Can I wait? I didn't want to let him in, but I stepped aside. When Noah returned, the tension tripled. I came to apologize, Marcus said. I didn't know what was going on between you two. I shouldn't have gotten in the middle. Noah crossed his arms. It wasn't just you. I know. But I made it worse. And I wanted to say I'm sorry. To both of you. I didn't know how to respond. Forgiveness felt too big. But hate felt too heavy. Thanks, Noah said finally. That means something. Marcus left. The silence lingered. I'm not mad at him anymore, Noah said. I'm just tired of pretending none of this matters. It matters, I said. Then let's stop hiding. His words hit hard. I wanted to say yes, to be brave. But fear had its claws in me. What if people keep talking? I asked. They will, and then they'll move on. What if they don't? He looked at me. Then we deal with it. Together. The next day, we posted a photo. Just a simple one. Us sitting together on campus, laughing about something no one else could hear. It was the first time I didn't feel afraid to be seen. The backlash came fast. Some people unfollowed. Some left comments. One guy from my old high school messaged me just to say I was a disappointment. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Then I deleted the message. But there were others. People I didn't even know sent messages like, "You made me feel less alone," or "Took guts respect." And one text, from my older brother, just said, "I'm proud of you." I cried. Not because I was broken, but because for the first time I wasn't hiding the pieces. One night, weeks later, Noah and I sat on the rooftop of our building. I didn't think we'd get here, I admitted. Me neither. It's still messy. Always will be. I looked at him, not just as my roommate, not just as someone I kissed in the dark, but as the one who stood beside me when everything felt like it was falling apart. "I'm scared it's going to fall apart again," I said. He leaned back, staring at the sky. "It might, but so what? We'll build it again." I didn't say anything. I just sat there, breathing in the night, feeling something I hadn't in a long time. Hope. Things didn't fall apart, but they didn't stay easy either. Once we stopped hiding, Noah leaned in. Hard. He wanted us to be visible. Friends, classmates, co-workers, everyone. He wasn't pushing it on me, but he didn't hold back either. Holding hands on the street. Quick kisses before class. Laughing like nothing could touch us. People stared. I flinched every time. He told me not to care. I said I'd try. But I was trying too hard. At first I thought I could keep up, that the fear would fade and I'd stop noticing the way strangers looked at us. But it didn't. Not really. After a while, it started to wear me down. It came to a head at a cafe near campus. One of Noah's favorite spots. We'd been there before, but this time a group of students from my department sat across the room. I recognized a few of them, guys I'd studied with, one who used to be in my group chat. Noah reached for my hand across the table. I hesitated. It was a second, maybe two, but I saw it land on him like a slap. He pulled back. "Right. No, it's not. It's fine," he said, voice flat. "Don't explain." We didn't talk much after that. That night we argued. Not screaming, not breaking things, but that quiet kind of fight, where the real damage hides between the words. "You act like you're okay with us," he said, pacing. "But the moment someone's watching, you shut down." "I'm not pretending," I shot back. "I'm just not used to being watched like I'm some freak show." "You think I am." "No, God, Noah, that's not what I meant. You don't get to pick when this is convenient." I felt my hands curl into fists. "I'm still figuring it out." He stopped, looked at me like he was searching for someone he used to know. "I don't need you to be perfect," he said, "but I need you to be honest." I looked down. "I'm scared." He softened. "I know. I don't want to lose you. Then don't keep hiding me." The next week, I tried harder. I smiled through the awkwardness, reached for his hand before he could reach for mine, laughed louder, answered the questions people were too polite to ask. But something between us had changed. He pulled away first, now, responded to texts late, stayed out longer. I didn't want to ask where he went, afraid I already knew. Then one night I came home and he wasn't there. Hours passed. I messaged, no reply. When the door finally opened, it was nearly 2 a.m. "Where were you?" I asked, trying not to sound like I cared too much. "Out." "With who?" He shrugged. "Marcus." My chest tightened. I thought we were past that. We were just talking. "About what?" "Us." I took a step back. "You talked to Marcus about us before talking to me?" He didn't answer. I turned away, too angry to speak. But he followed. He listens without flinching. The words hit like a punch. I don't flinch. "Not anymore. But you used to. Every damn time someone looked at us. I'm trying. Are you?" He stood there, breathing hard. I didn't have an answer. "I love you," he said, "but I'm not going to keep begging you to see me." Then he walked out again. The next morning, his things were still there, but he wasn't. I stared at his room, thinking about every stupid moment I could have just told him the truth. I wasn't scared of being with him. I was scared of what the world would do to me because I was with him, and I hated that fear had a louder voice than love. 3 days passed. Noah texted once, "I need space. Please respect that." I did, but it gutted me. I wanted to believe space was temporary, that he just needed time. But what if space became distance? What if distance became silence? I went to class, ate alone, slept badly. His absence felt louder than any fight we'd ever had. Then on day 4, a knock at the door. It was him. He looked tired. I probably did too. "Can we talk?" he asked. I nodded. We sat down, this time facing each other. "I'm not here to fight," he said, "or blame you. I know. I lost myself a little. I was trying so hard to make this normal, to prove it was okay. I forgot we were both still figuring it out." I swallowed. "I didn't mean to push you away." "I know you didn't, but it still hurt." "I miss you," I said quietly. "I miss you too." Another pause. The kind that didn't feel like tension, just space waiting to be filled with something better. "I'm not asking you to change overnight," he said. "Just to meet me halfway." "I will. Then let's try again. Slower this time. No pressure." I nodded. Just us. Just us. And maybe for now, that was enough. Starting over wasn't romantic. It wasn't some movie montage where things magically clicked. It was awkward, quiet, full of hesitation. But we kept showing up. We didn't make rules, we didn't label it, we just talked more. Took walks instead of going to parties, turned our phones off more often, stayed in our own heads a little less. It was slower, softer, and harder in a different way. Because rebuilding something real means confronting the parts you broke, and we'd broken more than we admitted. Some nights we didn't say much, just sat next to each other and let the silence settle. Other nights, we argued, but not like before. This time we listened, not just to respond, but to understand, and for the first time, I started to understand myself too. 2 months passed. One afternoon, Noah came home with a flyer. "Allie Week's coming up," he said. "They're hosting a student panel, Queer Voices on Campus." I nodded, unsure where this was going. "They asked me to speak," he added. I smiled. "That's great." "They want more than one voice." I froze. "No pressure," he said quickly. "Just thought you should know they asked about you too." I stared at the flyer. My chest tightened, the way it always did when visibility came up. But this time, something inside me didn't flinch. "Do you think I'm ready?" I asked. He shrugged. "Only you can know that." That night, I stared at the email draft for hours. Typed and deleted my reply a dozen times. Then finally, I hit send. I'd be honored to speak. The day of the panel, I almost backed out. I told Noah I had a headache. He didn't argue, just handed me a bottle of water and said, "I'll be there, either way." That mattered. So I went. The room wasn't packed, but it felt full. I sat beside Noah and 3 other students I didn't know. When it was my turn, my throat closed up for a second. Then I looked at him, and he gave me the smallest nod. "I didn't think I'd ever say this out loud," I began. "But I've spent most of my life being what people needed me to be. And I was good at it. I knew how to keep things light, stay out of trouble, keep secrets, even from myself." I glanced down, but then I met someone who didn't ask me to be anything, just wanted me to be honest. I felt the room quiet. And that was the scariest part, I continued. Not because I was ashamed of who I loved, but because I didn't know how to love myself if it meant being different. I paused. But I'm learning, and I'm still scared sometimes. But I'm not hiding anymore. There was a moment of stillness. Then, quiet applause. Nothing loud, but it echoed in me louder than anything ever had. After the panel, a girl stopped me outside. "Hey," she said, "I just wanted to thank you for saying what you said. I didn't think I'd hear someone say it like that." I nodded, unsure how to respond. She smiled. It helped. Then she walked away. Noah came up beside me. "Proud of you." I was shaking the whole time. "I know, still proud." We walked home without talking much, but the quiet between us felt safe now, familiar, like it finally belonged to us. A week later, I got a call from my mom. I hesitated before picking up. We hadn't spoken since my dad hung up on me. "Hi?" I said, unsure how to start. She didn't waste time. "Your father showed me that photo." I held my breath. "I just wanted you to know." Her voice caught. "He's wrong. About a lot of things." Tears hit before I could stop them. "I love you," she said. "Exactly as you are." I didn't say much. I just listened, clutching the phone like it might disappear. And somehow, after everything, that one call made something shift. Not everything healed, not overnight, but that crack between who I was and who I was trying to be, it started to close. Now, months later, things aren't perfect. We still argue, we still overthink. There are days when I get quiet, when he needs space, when life feels heavier than we signed up for. But we don't run anymore. We talk, we take breaks, we ask what the other needs, and that's love, I think. Not the rush, not the fireworks, but the choice to stay when it would be easier to walk away. Sometimes I still catch myself looking over my shoulder when we're out, but then I see someone else, someone younger, someone scared watching us, the way I used to watch others, wondering if they'd ever feel brave enough. And now, maybe I'm the reason they do. This is who I am, who we are, not perfect, not always sure, but real. And for the first time in my life, that's enough.